Climate change, political polarization, gun violence, social media pressure, and financial instability are just some of the many stress factors that we all deal with on a day-to-day basis. But what happens if that reality is all you know? According to the Jama Network and HHS, recent depressive and anxiety symptoms in young people doubled during the pandemic. So on this Mental Health Awareness Month, how is Gen Z holding up, and what more can be done about this? Psychiatrist Dr. Howard Liu, chair of APA's Council on Communications, and Sophie Barron, founder and CEO of The Conversationalist, a nonpartisan platform to encourage conversation among Gen Z, are joining us for more on this. Sophie, I want to start with you because you say part of the reason you started The Conversationalist was to get Gen Zers talking about mental health. Why was that so important to you?
Diane, thank you for having me. I grew up in the Midwest in an environment where a lot of these important issues that were impacting me day to day were incredibly stigmatized. And I saw time and time again, especially in my own environments, friends dying to suicide and losing friends to suicide. And the reaction from my institutions was to sweep it under a rug and not open up a dialogue about it, which is why I felt it was so important to create an environment where young people could gather and have that peer-to-peer connection to relate through our experiences. And more than ever, as the mental health crisis is increasing, we have to encourage these conversations to connect young people across their differences.
Dr. Liu, are there differences among generations when it comes to mental health struggles and how to address them?
I would say that Gen Z is actually very good about being aware of their mental health, and they are actually less stigmatized about seeking care than some of the older generations.
So, Sophie, you've introduced several conversations on this topic on your platform. What were some of the biggest takeaways?
On our most recent episode that airs this Tuesday around mental health, we explored the question, should everyone be in therapy? Which is an interesting question. And I would say some of the biggest takeaways were around the importance of seeking therapy or therapy alternatives in a way that works for you. But what I learned on the episode is that there are some struggles, especially amongst Gen Z, to find a therapist or a resource that meets them where they are. And so as we call for therapy or self-care methods, it's important to advocate for accessibility, not just in terms of the financial aspects of therapy, but also in finding therapists that are multiculturally competent. And there was a young woman on our episode who shared, as a woman of color, that she has a hard time finding a therapist because it's hard to find someone who can relate to her. So as we explore these conversations, we need to meet young people where they are as the most diverse generation to date.
So, Dr. Liu, I'll leave you with the last word. How do you advise people in that circumstance? How do you find a therapist, the right therapist, or another alternative to try to get the help that you need?
The goodness of fit of a therapist is so important, as Sophie was saying, and really you want to make sure that you're talking to your primary care provider as a first point of access. They often have somebody embedded in the office to help you. Finding a psychiatrist is also helpful in case you have more severe anxiety or depression, or it's worse. And that really can be accessed through a number of ways. Primary care is one way. If you really are in a bind, you can call 988 as well, and just call and text for a crisis helpline as well. But the thing to remember is it takes a good fit for you to open up and be vulnerable with somebody if you're in a mental health crisis.
It does. All right. Sophie Barron, Dr. Howard Liu, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.